Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Gale here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Fulland of Water and Light video. And today, I come bearing bad news regarding the game. Well, I say bad news, but I would probably actually say it's somewhat good news, and it actually helps the developers more so than anything else, because it's not because of them that the game is actually getting postponed. Yes, you heard that right. The game is getting postponed. But it's not because of the game being stuck in development, it's because of Season 5. Let me explain a little bit. So, when I made my most recent video regarding Fulland of Water and Light, I even questioned in that video that, Fulland of Water and Light releasing during or before Season 5 finishes airing is a bit of a problem. And of course, at that time, we had found out that, Season 5 was going to get postponed. We knew it was going to get postponed to early spring. We didn't know what that would mean. It could have meant March, April. It turns out it obviously meant early February, of course, right? Which their definition of spring is quite different to our definition of spring. Clearly, it seems like at JC Staff and Warner Bros. But I even said in that video saying, if Fulland of Water and Light comes out during or before Season 5 finishes airing, there's going to be some major spoilers probably in the game itself, especially regarding Horn, Ryu, and so on and so forth. So I was like, I do wonder if they're probably considering maybe delaying the game or potentially releasing it a little bit later because of that. And that's exactly what they've done here. So the game isn't actually getting delayed because of any in-house problems or anything of that sort. It's actually getting delayed because Season 5 is not going to finish airing until 5th of March. And that means they've changed the date appropriately to the 13th of March. So yes, the game's new release date is going to be the 13th of March. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually all right with that. It's only a 2-week delay. It's not even anything major. It's not like a month-long delay or 2-month-long delay. It's only a 2-week-long delay. And honestly, if they can take the time to, do everything they need for like the day 1 patch and everything and put it into the game before it even launches, I'm all right with that, to be quite honest. Because let's be real, there's going to be probably a day 0, day 1 patch in the game as every other game has had in recent history, to be quite honest. But I would appreciate if they take that time to, optimize the game, make sure the game works perfectly fine on all devices. Of course, the only devices it's on is Switch and PC, but make sure it's working fine on both devices and all that sort of stuff. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that, happen actually. Now, let's go over the letter first and the tweet, of course, right, and see what they have to say, of course, right? And then I want to talk about some other things as well regarding the game before we wrap up this video. So, notice of release postponement. Due to the postponement of the anime broadcast, we have decided to change the release date of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Fulland of Water and Light. Please see the image for details. And I have the image translated right here. The notice of postponement of release for the game. Thank you very much for your continued support of Fulland of Water and Light. The other day, the broadcast and distribution schedule for the climax of the anime Danmachi Season 5, The Goddess of Fertility arc, was announced. And in response to the announcement, we have decided to postpone the release of Danmachi Fulland of Water and Light, which was scheduled to release on Thursday, 27th February, so that more customers can enjoy the game, which depicts the story after Danmachi Season 5. So that confirms that the story would be taking place after the events of Season 5. And so they've made the right decision here, in my opinion, to postpone the game. Again, I know a lot of people will be quite annoyed at the fact that it's getting delayed and stuff like that, but I think this is a good thing. It's obviously to help with people to, get into the story better and, of course, to understand the story better, of course, right? One thing I will say as well is that I know a lot of people will probably be like, oh, what spoilers could there be and stuff like that. It's more so regarding the characters present and also just generally linking into the story that we obviously saw Belle and Seer talk about in episode 3 as well. So again, I think it's the right decision, and to be honest, a lot of people are probably going to be playing the game for the story, not the gameplay, because the gameplay has been very controversial in the community. I know this I've had so many discussions about it in live streams and stuff regarding the gameplay. I know a lot of people will probably just end up watching it on YouTube. I do feel like you're probably going to be missing out, in my opinion, just based on the information that's been coming out about like the different playstyles between Eyes and Belle, the fact that they're going in depth with the complexity of the techniques and stuff. I think there's going to be actually a lot of fun in the game, but I understand a lot of people are quite wary of the game's gameplay and just generally how it looks. But again, that's why you can probably just wait and see what everybody thinks of the game. The people who are playing the game. I'm going to be playing the game day one. You best believe we will be streaming it day one. And so as a result of that, of course, I think people will have the opportunity to see for themselves whether they like the game or not. That's the way to go. And anyways, you can also refund the game, at least on Steam. If you only play for 2 hours and you still don't like it, you can refund the game. So there's a good thing there, of course, right? The postponed release date is officially confirmed to be March 13th, Thursday as well. We deeply apologize to customers who are looking forward to the release of this product and for any inconvenience caused. We hope you continue to enjoy Danmachi Fulland of Water and Light, and this was from the management team. So I think, like I said, I think this was the right decision, in all honesty. I think, this is something even I raised as a query when, it was originally announced. I was a bit worried at the time that, they might be making a bit of a mare of it if they release it before the end of Season 5. But I'm glad that they actually took it into consideration and are releasing it later on in 2 weeks later. I think that's absolutely perfectly fine with me. And of course, I think if, Danmachi Season 5 was going to release in like April or something anyways, as well, like we were initially predicting, I think they would have done the same then as well. Because they kind of have to, especially considering, how it links with Danmachi and Season 5 especially, they kind of have to. Now, one thing I also want to talk about, oh god, my voice just went there. One thing I also want to talk about is the Switch 2, of course, right? The Switch 2 has been announced, of course, recently, and a lot of people are probably wondering, what was the situation there, and will it be releasing on that console? Well, I assume that it probably will. Of course, we know the Switch 2 now is confirmed to have backwards compatibility, and they've said most games should be available to be played on the Nintendo Switch 2 that were on the Switch, of course, right? What I think that means is, of course, things like Labo and stuff like that will probably not be playable, but as long as the developers are willing to optimize the game and ensure that, it's going to work well on the Switch 2, I think it should work more than fine, especially considering it's not using anything very specific, that's only available on the Switch, in terms of gimmicks and stuff like that. It's going to be using very simple things. So if you are planning on picking it up for the Switch, don't worry, you will be able to pick it up for the Switch 2 as well. It'll be playable on the Switch 2 as well. I do feel like that will be the case. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't worry too much on that whole situation as well. I think you will be able to play it on both devices completely fine and very easily. But I just wanted to clear that up as well because, of course, right, I know a lot of people were kind of questioning it, especially after the announcement of the Switch 2. I had some people in my stream asking, like, is Danmachi Fulland of Water and Light going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2? And I do believe it will be on the Nintendo Switch 2 via backwards compatibility. It won't be ported over completely or optimized perfectly, I assume, but it will be able to be played on the Nintendo Switch, I think, fairly well. And of course, for the most part, the Nintendo Switch 2 from the Nintendo Switch is mainly just a big hardware upgrade, right? It's not like they've changed the gimmicks or anything of that sort. So just keep that in mind, of course, right? But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Of course, let me know, are you guys going to be picking up the game or not? Of course, depending on the price and all, I understand that would be a big factor for everybody. But let's estimate it to be around $30. Let's say the game is going to be $30. Are you guys going to be picking it up on launch day, or are you guys probably going to wait and see for people's gameplay and just generally what people think about the game and then pick it up? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.